Hello, I'm Lucas. I'm a software engineer intern here at Maverick. Um, Today, I'm going to talk a little bit about some of the work I'm doing here. During my work at Thomson Reuters, I've done three major projects, and one of those projects was graphical history, which is a feature that allows users of Westlaw to visualize their research history in a graphical manner. My area that I've been working in is primarily front end, so writing JavaScript code and React code. And then to test these, we also use a testing framework called Jest. And additionally, we also use a state management system for React called Redux.
So, as an intern for Thomson Reuters through Maverick, I am a software tester. I work on the public record section of the Westlaw product that Thomson Reuters has. What I do is regression analysis as well as the testing of new features. So I test the old things and make sure that they are still working correctly with the addition of new things, and also test the new things before they become integrated into the software.
So one of the most challenging components of graphical history was working with SVG, and to get the graph, the tree of the search history to visualize correctly, a lot of dynamic calculations need to be made to correctly position elements in the tree. So that was probably the largest challenge, and just learning about all the different SVG commands, SVG elements, different ways to structure the tree using JavaScript.
Hi, I'm Will, and I'm an intern here at Maverick, and I work with Thomson Reuters as a software engineering tester. And kind of what I do in that role is that my responsibility is to make sure that the features that are developed from the developers are being tested thoroughly and making sure that there's no bugs that users would encounter when they use it and nothing that would crash. The technologies that I work with for my team, it could vary from team to team, but we use IntelliJ, and that's what we develop our regression suite on. And then along with that, we use Jenkins to deploy the regression tests. And then more specific to my role, since we also do some end-to-end testing, so we use Postman for the end-to-end testing, and then I also work a little bit with AWS.
The technologies that I use as a tester are Eclipse and Java mainly. So our tests are written in Java, and we use Eclipse to do all the writing. And then we also use Jenkins, which is an automation server, which is what we deploy our tests on. Working through Maverick, some of my favorite things that have come out of it is that it's more than just being a regular intern. Instead of just kind of getting the not as important tasks, you are more integrated into Thomson Reuters and feel as if you are a full-time employee, even though you are just an intern. And aside from the computer science perspectives, you also get help with career advice, and you can help in interviews, and you also do a lot of team building activities with the Maverick office.
What I like about Maverick is I think there's a lot of flexibility in your schedule, and I think that's super important as a student because you'll have finals some weeks, you'll have a heavier group project load some weeks, and then the important part is as long as you communicate well with your manager, you'll be able to kind of work it out and kind of lessen that load a little.
Two things I would have wanted to know is what an average day looks like, and kind of if there would be any variability in my schedule or if I'd be doing the same thing. And so for an average day, if you are a tester like me, you can expect to be testing each day. The weeks look pretty much the same just because you're working on the same product, and so you want to test the same things while also testing some new things.
When I first joined the team, I was paired with a mentor who kind of walked me through the code base and paired with me on a few starter really basic tasks to understand the frameworks we were using and the entire flow of the system that we were working on. And then after I got more comfortable with with the system and the frameworks, I eventually was tasked with small little tasks that were mostly bug fixes and small features like changing text or making or slightly modifying the behavior of a certain component. And then as I became more comfortable with working with my team and working on the feature that I was working on, eventually I was able to work on much larger tasks, which included a major refactor of the UI. That whole process was very valuable because it taught me a lot about not only code refactoring, building on top of existing code, but then also implementing a lot of my own logic from the ground up.
Two things that I think I would have really liked to know more about when I joined Maverick or was kind of thinking about joining Maverick is what the day-to-day activities as an intern here would be like, which to that, I would say I start off my day coming into office. I first check Jira, which is kind of like essentially a huge to-do list for your team of what different people are assigned to do for that kind of like project 3-week iteration. I check to see if anything new has been pulled in for me. And then for me, and this is a part that I really like too, is that my mentor checks in with me every day that I work. We have a quick like 30-minute meeting to see if there's a very important testing thing that I should work on, or I could continue doing what I was doing yesterday and finish that up first. The second part that I wanted to know more about as a Maverick is whether I would have to like be thrusted into this completely blind and not knowing what to do. But it's been super amazing because I have an amazing mentor and she communicates with me every day to see if there's anything that I need help on, anything that I'm not understanding, and what she could do to help the experience as an internship for Maverick and Thomson Reuters be the best that it can be and what I can take out of it.